How's you getting on? We're here in the sea can, trying to keep some heat in. The door doesn't really close properly from the inside. Of course, it's not meant to be because it's a sea can. It's meant to be locked up from the outside, and that's it. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to get it close enough to keep the heat in. So what we got here now, I got a handle out of the handle collection. It's a good solid plastic handle, so I just tapped it out here and put a couple of bolts in so it's good and solid to close the door, so I can manage to pull it through here now, just enough. I think that'll be fine. Don't need any further than that, just as long as it keeps most of the heat in here. What I also got to do, I'm gonna have to figure out something so you can't lock it. So if the door happened to slam or something like this, and the lever happened to go over, and I got it, and maybe it wouldn't happen, but I really don't like the idea of having to cut my way out. So what we got done, we trimmed a little bit off of the bottom of these things down here, just enough, so we can get the door closed, because that was up against the inside piece here. So this goes in like that, just enough. Now, what we want to do, see, this slides across when you locks her in, right? This lever slides across and fits in there. What we want to do when we takes the lock off of there, we are going to open this up to just the right spot that it needs to go, for this piece to go in between there, so I can close it from the inside. And I got a bracket because I took the latch off of this side. I didn't need it. Took this little bracket here and I welded a little piece of metal onto it here. Actually, that piece of metal came from the bowling alley I used to work at. There used to be a bracket for the ball return motors. Actually, I had a whole bunch of them in there. They're really handy. But anyway, I welded that on here to this extra bracket I had left over, and we drilled a couple of holes and bolted on here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to weld another piece onto this pipe right here and have a hole drilled. So when I takes the lock off of here, it'll go down here, and then this won't be able to lock me in. Let's get back at her. Okay, now what we got going on here now, we got our bracket welded to the pipe. So now when we brings this over here, that latches in there like so, and the lock goes in it right there. This one here just comes right in as far as there, so she's not hitting, so that's perfect. And the other piece is out here. So let's see now, we'll open her up. So say I unlocks her when I first comes out to do some work, and then I'll lift up on this and we'll swing it out to here, like so. So we let that go. Now let's see if it goes in. Yeah, see, that's what we want. So it doesn't hit down here. So that goes in there. So that's perfect. So what we need right now, we needs a hole down through this and that. So when I takes the lock out of down here, I can put the lock in here and I can lock it, and no practical joker can come along here and lock me in. Alrighty then, there we go. I'm gonna push her in. Yep, she goes in, perfect. Don't strike anything, goes in plenty far enough to keep the heat in. And never mind the paint job, we gotta paint the whole thing this summer. But we got this hooked in here. So now I can take the lock off of down here. When he opens it up, I can put it in here, and there won't be nobody locking me in there, because you can't turn this pipe here now. As you can see, she's locked in. So that'll work out perfect. The only thing is, where we took a little bit off of the locks on the top and the bottom, they kind of forced open the door, made it a bit easier to get the door open. So I'm not overly concerned about that, because I'm just going to put something here. It's the next job here. Now we're going to put something here to go against there to make it easier to open the door, because when the seal gets in there, she's pretty pretty snug. So we'll have a gander at that and see what we can do with that. Ooh, it's chilly out there today. I'm over here and stand in front of the diesel heater for a minute. See if I can warm up my kneecaps. They start to seize up after a while at this point. I almost want grease nipples on them or something, especially when it's cold out. But what we got done now, we got, as I mentioned, now there's got to find some way to kind of pry the door open there, so we don't be yanking on it, hauling out our back or anything like that. Because like this day and age, I mean, if you stretch wrong, you could end up putting yourself in a hospital bed. So what we got here, came over here to the collection here, and I found this handle belonged to a winch that I've never had. I don't know what the story was on it. Someone had the handle and never had the winch and give it to me. I don't know if the winch stripped out or what the story was, but the handle don't even look like it was used, as you can see. So the hole wasn't quite big enough, so I just ran the drill bit through it there now. And of course this bolt here that someone was throwing out looks like she'll fit perfect in here, this 5/8 bolt. So what we need to do now is to fasten this on and then put something coming off of this side of it, and shorter than this of course, so we got mechanical advantage here, a bit of leverage to open up the door. So what I got to do now when it warms up is to go out here. There is a plate right here. It needs to fit into that, so I got it marked. We need to cut that out there now. So let's grab the grinder. Whew, okay. Now let's see what we got here. All right, we got that piece cut out, and we got this bolt welded on here. Not too bad considering since I moved I haven't found my welding mask, so I basically welded all this with my eyes closed. What do you do? This goes on over here like so. Let's see, that should be good. Okay, so that'll be down like that. It'll be out far enough to get your hand behind. And then this here, we'll have a nut on this, and you just grab this and you pull up on it to about here, and that should force the door out. So what we need to do is weld something on here now that'll go against this other door that we got welded shut, and that should handle it. Okay, we're back into warm again. We got our winch handle brought in. Tried to find something there to hook onto it there for the shorter lever, and found a piece of this unistrut stuff. It's fairly strong. Got it notched out on this end where the hole was, made it a little bit wider, so it will fit over there like that. So we're going to weld that on there when we figure out where it got to go. But what we need on the other end, so it don't be scraping every time it goes up, is some sort of a roller or something. So I just looked through the oiler's bucket because I do have rollers in there in the bucket, but it's a bit plugged up in there with stuff. We haven't really got it organized yet. So this here is a belt oiler off of a car. This here has a bearing in it. So if I could fasten this somehow onto this up here, so this will go against the other door, and it'll make it easier to haul up on the handle, so it won't be scraping the metal every time, making some screeching noises. So I'm going to take this off of here now and see if it's all going to fit together before we actually weld it up. Well, we got this here is hot actually. I just welded it. It takes a little while for the signal to get from my burning fingers up to my brain. Probably see the smoke first at this point. However, that's not what we're here to talk about, burning flesh. There is the oiler that I got from the car, and here is a bolt that I got out of this box full of bolts over here that of course we couldn't throw out. And what we got to do now, this is kind of bearing is kind of recessed a little bit into it, so we need to get something to kind of take up the gap so she don't be scraping here on the side of this. So we got that in there. We just tack welded that on there with our eyes closed again, because I still don't know where that welding mask is to. Gotta find that at some point. Just went to find a metal bushing. So we got metal bushings, of course. These lovely little containers are from Walter grinding discs and stuff. They're wicked. I got a whole pile of them, got everything in it. Plastic bushings up there too. But anyway, here's the metal bushings. I just went through all these and got all this dumped out here and found this. I believe it's from a saw. Not 100% sure. I believe it's from maybe like a circular saw or something where the blade goes on. But turns out it's just the right size to go over this, and it's thick enough to take up the recess on here, and the narrow part of it, if I put the narrow part of it towards the bearing, it won't tear up the rubber seal. It'll sit right on the inner race here. So what we're going to do with this, get some focus here. Here we go. What we're going to do with this is we're going to put this on here. Might tack it on there. I don't know if it really needs to tack it on there. It looks like it fits pretty good like it is actually. So we got to lay it all out now and make sure that everything fits like it's supposed to. And then we got to find out where to weld this piece of strut here onto this winch handle. Got to get it in the right spot. So let's see now. Let's see if I can find a 5/8 nut somewhere. Hang on now. Okay, after a bit more welding with my eyes closed there, we got the handle from the winch fastened on to the piece of unit strut, and a bolt is fastened on there. I got that in the right spot. I took it out and put a mark on it, and I cut off the bolt there that the idler's going to go on to. So we should be able to just take this now and put our bushing thing over here, put this over like so, jam a nut on there, and tighten that up, and that'll be all best kind. I think I'm going to throw a bit of paint on this to try to stop it from rusting before I put it on there, and then we're going to throw a bit of grease on the bolt I got welded to the door and slide this on there and put a nut on it and see how she works out. Now, let's see. Let's go out here and set up a light, because it's after getting dark on me. I've gone down the rabbit hole with projects here. And right, get up there. No. All right. Now, so what we're going to do, we're going to close the door like so. Now we got this put on, as you can see. Got her put on there. We got our little roller there, and a nut on there to hold it on, and our handle. Everything is all the best kind. So let's see now if it works. So we'll open up this. Seal is usually a bit tight. So now you gotta really yank hard on it to get it out now, where I got those things cut off the bottom and the top. So let's just try our handle. And grab it here. Oh, there we go. That works. Throw it out. No, bye.